Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Paige and this is my open book. We're joined again by the lovely Joshua, my husband.
Hi.
And this time we are doing a book swap. So he's going to be reading a romance book and then I'm going to be reading a horror book. If you want to see me reading the horror book, go check out his channel. This video is going to be him reacting to the romance book. And this time we're doing a little bit of a twist. So we have done this a couple times before. I'll link those videos down below too. This time we're giving each other books that were not our favorites. Ones that we didn't really like or enjoy that much.
Oh boy.
This is an interesting one. The book that I picked for this book swap is Eyes on Me by Sara Cate. This is part of the Salacious Players Club series. So this is about 4 friends who open up a sex club together.
You've told me about this series before. Each book explores a different kink.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is a taboo romance.
Alright.
The main characters are step siblings. And there's a bit of an age gap. But it's not like step siblings that like were really close growing up or anything,
Right.
you know. So I don't think it's that taboo. I don't know. But the main male character, he's a voyeur. And then the main female character, she's a cam girl. For reasons that you don't know, the main male character, he is kind of going through a bit of a slump sexually. Or like a dry spell, I guess if you will. So he is trying to kind of like reignite that spark for himself. So he is on a cam girl site because he's a voyeur. And he stumbles across his stepsister. They kind of had like a lot of like animosity towards each other in the past. They don't really get along. They hate each other.
Gotcha. So naturally he wants to see her naked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not like that though. I didn't hate this book. This is like one of my favorite series. Like as a whole, but it's just this book in particular I felt like was lacking compared to the rest of the books in the series, and it just didn't really do it for me like the other ones did.
Well, that's good then. So if I read this and I enjoy it, it is the one that you think is most lacking, so then you know I may enjoy the other books in the series.
You might. Yeah, I feel like the rest of the series is like way better in my opinion. So that's probably why I rated this one so harshly, just because in comparison I was like, no, this does not compare.
Well, I appreciate that you found me one of 3 romance books that has a man wearing a shirt. If we're not going with discreet covers anyway.
I feel like he's very low key. So I think that'll work out well because you did not like the very intense over the top.
I will be back with you folks then, I guess, soon for an update.
Yes. So look forward to seeing this handsome face in the rest of this video.
I'm really sorry.
No. We'll see how it goes. Hi guys. We're back with a 30% update, I think. Are you also 30%?
I'm about 35%.
Okay.
Alright, so...
I'm nervous.
Why are you nervous?
I don't know.
This is a book that you didn't like either.
I know. I still like the rest of the series.
Beginning, probably 10%. Like, alright, it's okay.
Okay.
It's not disturbing me yet.
Oh God.
It's not making me roll my eyes and already regret getting into it, which is kind of the way I felt when I read Twisted Love. But and no, I'm never gonna stop bringing it up. No, I'm never gonna stop bringing it up. It's the first little bit there, like I said, maybe first 10-15%. All right, but as I'm going on, it's getting worse.
I mean,
so
I agree.
I don't know how you write a book where there's no plot. But there's no plot. There's nothing.
Really
it's just this guy decides that he's very attracted to his stepsister, and I'm gonna go to the family lake house or whatever and hook up with my stepsister, and that's it. I'm 35% of the way in. I mean, that is the only thing going on. There's no sub story. It's just that.
Yeah.
Which is insane to me. But I don't typically highlight things in books, but I saved some highlights because they were so ridiculous. And I can't even say them.
Do you want me to say them? Oh. So this is from the main male character's point of view. What's his name? Garrett?
Yeah.
No. Yes?
Yeah.
His eggplant is twitching in his pants, so he says, "No, you shut the F up."
Which did make me laugh. I'll give it that.
Yeah. That's the point.
I laughed.
So you don't talk to your egg?
I would hope that most people don't. Now, here's a good one. Obviously, now it is very obvious that this is written by someone who does not have experience as a male.
Really?
In many instances, yes. Here he says, maybe it's just her boobs. I'm a guy, and it's not like my sex drive can tell the difference between a nice girl's boobs and a snotty girl who hates me's boobs. Which, to your attention at one point, it is not true at all. I mean, we know from a psychological standpoint, a level of beauty and attractiveness that we find in a person very much ties in with their personality and our interactions with them.
Well, I think it's because society likes to make it seem like men,
oh yeah,
like to men emotions don't matter, and that all they care about is the physical, which is not true.
And it's not accurate. No,
yeah,
it is not.
Yeah.
Here's a gem. Really, this is a good example of some of the very poor writing in this book. Her thick, muscled legs stretch all the way up from her toes to her plump butt in that yellow bikini. Yes, that is in fact how legs work. I don't know what else she was going for here.
Oh my god.
Man, that girl has legs all the way up to her butt. Sir, please introduce me to the women you have met that do not.
What is ridiculous? I don't even notice stuff like that. But like, when it's from your perspective, it's so like glaringly obvious to me how bad that is. But when I was reading this on my own, I just went right on.
Here's another one.
Oh no, there's more.
God, she tastes so effing good. There's something familiar about kissing her, and also like I'm learning a whole new side of her just through this kiss. It has me wanting to learn everything about her. With my mouth.
It was almost good.
With my mouth.
With my mouth.
And with my mouth is its own sentence in this case, apparently.
Okay. Yeah. I agree.
So a lot of instances like that. Totally separate from the story itself.
Okay.
The actual writing.
Uh-huh.
This woman was let down by her copy editor and by her proofreader. There are.
See, I'm not as critical.
There are issues. There are issues galore with commas that are totally unnecessary, but repeated multiple times. Commas that are missing that should be there. Someone should have been telling her, "Hey, this sounds a little weird.
Yeah.
Let's change these words around here, and then we have a good sentence." And that's all it would take. And the characters are just stupid. They're so stupid. He signs on and does a private thing with her, a private chat with her. They end up doing like a mutual masturbation thing. But of course she doesn't know it's him, he does know it's her.
Yeah.
Now, immediately after this, I think the next day, is when he decides he's going to go to the lake house. And his internal thoughts are something to the effect of, and this is almost an exact phrasing, I have to go there and find out why I'm suddenly so attracted to my stepsister. You just finished a 2-hour session of watching her striptease in front of you. Why do you think you're suddenly attracted to her? And that's that. The issue with this is that is what is supposed to be moving this story along.
Right.
That is the whole reason that he goes there. Mm-hmm. Because I don't understand why suddenly I can't stop thinking about her. Really?
And doesn't she like already like him, or like kind of have a crush on him? Something?
She has a crush on him. Yeah. Of course, she doesn't know it's him on the other side of this.
Right? Yeah. Which
thing,
I don't like that trope in books.
Which is totally messed up. And then there's no communication between them, so they keep having this. It's supposed to be sexual tension, but it's just really uncool the way that it's done. Because he keeps like putting her up against the wall and blocking her there, you know, and like acting all sexual with her, and he has no idea that she's into this whatsoever. He's like, oh, I don't know, maybe I should talk to her. You know what, screw it, I'm just gonna do it. And then like at one point he pins her down on the couch and says all these things to her, and then gets up and lets her go, and he decides that he's not into this at the moment. But meanwhile, like I said, they have not had any sort of conversation that she is okay with this in any way. The only thing she said at this point is like, hey, whoa, what's going on? You're my stepbrother. This is not, you know, this is weird. It's supposed to be okay, because then in her head after, she's like, oh, well, I don't know what just happened, but I wish it didn't stop. But yeah, she does not express this to him at all. So again, as far as he knows, she is not into this. And there's been like 3 instances at this point where he's done it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like I said, it's going downhill quickly. So I've got a long road ahead of me. I don't think much is gonna change.
I guess we'll see.
But we'll see. So that's where we're at.
Keep you guys updated as it gets further along. All right, we're back for final update.
Yes.
I'm sure you're happy that this is over.
This might be the first time I've read a book where there is never a plot. Ever. There's not.
So nothing happens? I don't really remember the end.
Nothing happens. He shows up. They don't have sex, but they do everything but have sex.
There's no
there's a bunch of back and forth on, you know, will we? Will we not? And they eventually do. At the club, or I think they do it before that, and it's totally unrealistic.
Oh, because she's a virgin, right?
Yeah. She's like, oh, I'm a virgin.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then they start, and he says, are you okay? And she's like, yes, harder. Really? And then it's like, oh, he's got her legs up at her head, and this is her first time. And I'm like, really? That's... Seriously? So, but whatever. And then they do it at the club in front of everybody. Then they do it some more at their parents' house. He eventually, she finds out that he's been lying, and that he was the mysterious person on the messaging app or whatever, you know, the cam girl thing. And that's riveting. Because it basically amounts to it's like a 2-page thing, and then she walks out. She's like, no, I can't even look at you. And then the next chapter starts, and it says 2 weeks later, and she's talking to her dad, and they haven't said anything to the dad. And he's like, oh, I know about you and your stepbrother. If you're gonna make this work, then he needs to work for it.
He's got to grovel.
I suppose.
Grand gesture.
And that is the whole thing in regards to that. So then she goes to the club, and to make up for it, he apologizes by them having sex.
Oh.
Again, at the club.
Naturally.
And that makes up for it. Then we get the epilogue of 2 years later, where they're having sex. And that's it. That's it.
This book is worse than I remember.
It's crazy. I don't know how you write a book, a 350-page book, by the way, where nothing happens, and that's it.
Not every book has to be plot heavy. Think like a cozy fantasy book, right?
Right, and in a cozy fantasy book or a cozy mystery.
Well, cozy mysteries are different because there's a mystery.
Okay, well, cozy fantasy then. Fine. Okay, so what? Legends and lattes?
Yeah.
Right, so stuff happens.
Doesn't that have no plot?
No, stuff happens.
Oh.
You can't have a book without plot.
I read a lot of books without plot.
Well, out of the books you have had me read at this point, the others had some sort of story going on.
I do usually prefer it to have a plot,
right.
but I have read some that don't. But yes, I see what you're saying.
It has nothing, and
so would you rather a book like this with zero plot, or would you rather Twisted Love, where it was like so ridiculous?
I don't know, man, because I hated them both so much. So here's the thing, and don't take this any different. I hated Twisted Love with a passion. At least there was some sort of side story going on, so I didn't just have 350 pages of him talking about his schlong. Which is all I got here.
Right. Okay, that's fair.
I hear a lot of complaints that in horror and in science fiction, men just do a terrible job of writing women. In this case, this woman did a horrible job of writing a male character.
Really?
I mean, it was so far off base.
So what's your overall rating?
1 star.
1 star. Yeah,
definitely,
I figured.
Definitely 1 star. Yeah.
I don't think this book had any redeeming qualities for you.
It just.
Did you like anything?
There was nothing to it. There was nothing to it. Like I said, it was literally from start to finish, them and their sexy time, and that was it. So I don't have anything to go on.
That's fair.
There was no character development. They claim to fall in love with one another, but we don't even get a serious conversation between the two. It's sex, but apparently they love each other, and they're gonna spend the rest of their lives together. And after 30 seconds, the mom and dad are perfectly okay with brother and sister hooking up, because you know, in a typical family household,
yeah, they'd be fine.
Everyone's okay with that, you know.
Well, I already have ideas of what book I'm gonna have you read for our next book swap.
Okay, any chance it's like a fade to black?
If you want to see what I rated Joshua's horror book, go check out the video on his channel. I'll link it down below. And next month we will be doing a book, or no, we will be doing a buddy read of something. We haven't decided yet, but we'll keep you guys posted. That's gonna be it for today's video. Be sure to give it a like if you want to see more of this guy. And hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.